From ABC 15 News, this is Now at 9.
Now at 9, the turkey's digested. Now it's time to burn off the calories, and shoppers are getting to it this Black Friday. Air 15 safely above all the madness. But Hatzel and Jody, they're down in the middle of it to give you live reports.
What a difference selling 100,000 records makes. Kanye West, once sorry about being a bonehead when Taylor Swift won a VMA, took the whole thing back as part of a 10-minute rant.
Kanye just doesn't know when to stop, does he? Plus, America's obesity epidemic is also affecting our cats and dogs. Think about it. Is your Fido too fat? We're buzzing about the fact that more than half of our country's pets are overweight. Good morning, everybody. On November 26th, this is Black Friday. Hope you had an awesome Thanksgiving. I'm Kirk Youngkin.
And I'm Rebecca Thomas, along with Amber Sullins. Susan Casper has the day off, and we hope all of you had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you for joining us now at 9. Now, we might be safely out of the frenzy that is Black Friday, but our crews are in the thick of things.
Yeah, I think our camera guy at Best Buy is getting attacked as we speak. Hey, we've got Air 15 cruising the valley now at 9. Robert Hernandez is going to be filling us in on how busy all those parking lots are out there.
Plus, we are live in the stores. Hatzel Vela again is over at Best Buy near 19th Street in Camelback. Jody Heisner at the Target at Tempe Marketplace. We will be hearing from everybody throughout the show today.
And as usual, we want to invite you to join the conversation now at 9, whether you're headed out the door shopping or you're staying in and buzzing with us. Keep us posted on our Now at 9 Facebook page. Use hashtag Now9 on Twitter, or as usual, you can send us an email too if you prefer that. Now at abc15.com is the email address.
And you know, some people might be back from shopping already, so if you've been out, tell us how it went. Tell us the great deals you snagged out there and why you're lucky to be back home in one piece. Hey, and if you are heading out, though, we want to remind you, Foursquare is a cool tool if you haven't used it. You can check in at different locations, different stores, different malls, and you can also leave tips. So leave tips while you're at places to let people know what the deals are, maybe the stuff that's no longer on the shelves. We're surfing those tips to try and see if we can find any good tips to pass along to our viewers. So help us help you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. All right, buzzing now at 9. Despite the fact that obesity rates are on the rise, 1 in 4 overweight women don't believe they're overweight. Researchers say misconceptions about one's weight could be a deadly mistake because it contributes to poor eating habits. On the flip side of this, 16% of normal weight women think they weigh too much, leading them to dangerous dieting habits. So Now at 9 is asking you, do you know what your healthy weight is?
You know, this doesn't really surprise me, and we were talking about this beforehand. The first reason is because, you know, a lot of times the BMI and the quote-unquote obesity level, technically I'm about 10 pounds from being obese.
Right, and before I got pregnant, I was on the top threshold of my BMI. I was like 2 or 3 pounds away from being overweight, according to BMI.
Right.
Again, that was pre-pregnancy.
Yeah, but there's so many different charts to look at to say whether you're overweight or whether you're not. I know I'm 5'3", and I'm supposed to weigh anywhere from 115 to 140. That's a big, number difference. That's a large range.
A lot of it depends on your build. The other side of this, too, is that I think that a lot of times people who are overweight, you know, they live or spend time with other overweight people, and sometimes, you know, ignorance is bliss to some extent. Maybe they just don't know it because they're eating unhealthy, they have unhealthy eating habits along with their spouse or their family. I mean, I've seen that a lot where it's like, well, I'm not unhealthy, everybody else eats the same thing I eat. And it's like, well.
Right, and that's what this study says, too, that we compare ourselves to those that we're closest around. So if you compare yourself to your friends and your family and every one of those people is overweight, then you're like, hey, you know, I'm the skinniest out of the fat people, so I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's all relative. I think people in general these days have such a distorted body image.
It's contagious.
Whether they're too skinny or whether they're overweight. All right, let's get to some comments on Facebook right now. Maggie Shaw says, I know how much I should weigh. I just can't seem to lose enough to get there. A lot of people have trouble with this.
Yeah,
Martin, tough.
Yeah, Martin jumps in and says, I know I'm not overweight. I'm skinny.
I like what Herman Bricado says. According to the Rabbit Police, we all should be as anorexic as Callista Flockhart.
Oh, my gosh. When Stephen Owen says, I know my healthy weight, but my healthy weight doesn't know me.
Yeah, well, and the tough part is a lot of us know where we should be, but that's the hard part is getting there sometimes. Judy writes in and says, I'd rather be a bit overweight, which means I have been eating, than the opposite, which means that you wouldn't be eating.
And Antonio says that's what mirrors are for, because the husband is not allowed to be honest about his wife's weight.
Especially when they're pregnant, right?
Especially when they're pregnant.
Take it from Amber.
Yeah.
Guys, listen to this.
All right. Well, we're buzzing about this one too. Kanye West selling a lot of records, and it's apparently making him feel just a little frisky. At a launch party this week, he went on a near 10-minute rant. Now, we can't play it for you because it has quite a few obscenities, but you can find it on YouTube if you're interested. One of the big highlights, though, West appears to take back his apology to Taylor Swift about interrupting her acceptance speech on the VMAs. He called her win disrespectful to everyone creative and, quote, a slap in the face to everyone who tries to do something real. Now at 9, what is up with Kanye? And has anybody out there gotten his new record? If so, is it worth buying?
Oh, I'm just sitting here thinking, I don't even want to talk about him. I think this guy is such a jerk, such a mean-spirited person. I mean, he really has let his success go to his head. I mean, he is not grounded in reality. And what is he getting? What does he think he's getting from constantly bashing this 19-year-old woman? I mean, girl.
Yeah, he's staying in the news when his album just got released this week.
What is he thinking?
Yeah. Well, like they say, no press is...
Well, any press.
Any publicity is
no
good
press
publicity.
is bad press.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Listen, you asked what's up with Kanye. Well, I'll tell you what's up. He's got a new album out. So he knows that if he runs his mouth and says something, then, I mean, good or bad, it doesn't matter. People are talking about him. And then, in turn, they're talking about his album. We've got a lot of comments online. Let's read some of those.
All right. Tamika Little says, why can't he just let it go? If he has a problem with the award show, then boycott the shows. Not that anyone would care if he didn't show up.
Donna Brown says, seems like ever since Kanye lost his mother, he's been going downhill.
And Antonio Alfaro says, Kanye West is a big idiot and a baby. Perfect example of selfishness and ungratefulness.
Steven says, when are we going to stop giving this man a microphone?
Absolutely. Scott Wilkie says, we're just feeding his fire by giving his statements any airtime. As long as we continue to listen to what he says, he'll keep talking.
Well, the problem is, even when he doesn't have a microphone, he finds a way to get one. He'll steal it.
He'll steal it from cute little blonde girls who are, 16 years old? I know. Well, and Holly has something funny to say. Kanye will keep talking because he loves to hear himself talk. He thinks he is amazing. I think he is an unstable narcissist.
Oh, John Izor says, Dr. Phil is on duty, and maybe he could tackle his narcissism because that boy needs a talking to.
Yeah, put Kanye on the Dr. Phil show.
I would love to see that.
I'm sure that'll happen in 2000.
Probably more appropriate for Jerry Springer.
Yeah, you're right there.
Hey, guys, I'm going to head over to abc15.com. Narissa filling in for Katrina today, so we're going to go see what she's up to, keeping track of all the stories that are on the web. And as I walk over, as I do often, I'm going to remind you, the best way to get involved in the show is to head to social media, log on to Facebook. We've got our Now at 9 Facebook page. Log on to Twitter. We're using the hashtag #Now9. And we've got an email address, now@abc15.com. What is this hallway? I never walk down this hallway. I walk over here and I see Curtis just pointing me in a different direction. I don't know. As long as I make my way over to here, that's all that matters. So, Narissa, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good.
Hope you had a great Thanksgiving.
Thanks, you too.
You got some good Black Friday stuff.
Black Friday stuff. We're going to keep the Black Friday theme going, and here are some photos that people are posting. Brad'sDeals.com is having a photo contest.
Nice.
So this guy is taking a nap at Walmart in Michigan. We have
it's cold out there in Michigan.
Exactly. We have a woman here smushed in the back of her car so that they could fit this new air hockey table that they just got.
That's awesome.
And we want to give a little shout out to the workers out there, because I feel like they have to cover so much ground and they have to clean up so much, and this photo is an example of that.
That's a mess.
And then there's a top 10 list of most absurd Black Friday videos. There are some people here, of course, fighting over electronics, which is pretty common, I would say, across the country.
It's sad is what it is. I mean, you hate to see people, hurting each other like that.
Yeah. And then, of course, here, this is a popular video from, I think, a few years back. People are getting trampled at a Walmart in Michigan.
Let's remind people, let's use this as a reminder, it's not that deep. It's just Black Friday. If you don't get what you want, it's probably going to go on sale again in a week from now. Toys R Us had all their sales this morning, and then at like 9 o'clock they said, oh, by the way, we'll have the same prices throughout the day. So there you go. You just got to keep it in perspective, right?
Yeah, and it's on our website, and we want to know what crazy experiences you've had on Black Friday, so share that with us.
Yeah, especially this morning. What happened this morning when you were out shopping? All right, we're going to send it back to you guys. But Amber, you know, I mean, in Michigan, they're not trampling because they want the good deals. They're trampling because it's so cold out there.
Yeah, they're trying to get into the heat.
Yeah, well, it was cold here in the valley, too, at least by our standards. 30s and 40s this morning.
Yeah, that is definitely cold.
It's definitely cold. We are trying to warm up into the weekend. We'll talk about it in just a couple minutes here.
And Air 15 is checking out who is shopping where this Black Friday. Robert Hernandez will join us with a live report right after the break.
Plus, the Black Eyed Peas making the buzz now at 9. Now that they have been asked to perform at the Super Bowl, they've joined the likes of U2, the Rolling Stones, and Paul McCartney. What do you think of the NFL's choice? Sound off now.
ABC 15 News.
There's too many families getting hurt.
Putting quality back into investigative storytelling.
It's a wake-up call for all agencies.
Exposing the spike in suicides among Valley firefighters.
What can be done to affect that culture, though, so somebody can feel comfortable to come forward?
Probably the fire chief saying it's okay to ask for help.
For personal, quality investigations, turn to ABC 15.
Endless thirst? You know where to take it. At McDonald's, any size soft drink is just $1. All day, every day. I'm loving it.
All this luxury. Advanced driving technologies. At a remarkably low price. Whoever said, be careful what you wish for, never laid eyes on this.
Now, during the Lincoln Wishlist event, get the best sign and drive offer of the year, plus 4 years no-charge maintenance on a Lincoln MKS.
It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that.
White tigers, white alligator, and much more. Wildlife World Zoo, 165th Avenue in Northern, 623-935-WILD.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Vellis. When the valley weather changes, your plans change. That's why we're doing our best to deliver the most accurate weather forecast every day. Because it's more than a forecast, it's a tool to help you plan your life. I'm Bill Vellis, and that's my promise to you.
The ABC 15 Weather Team and the Arizona Weather Network, bringing you the latest weather data from across Arizona. Brought to you by APS. ABC 15, your Valley weather leader.
Cave Creek Fine Art and Craft Festival, November 26th through the 28th at Frontier Town in downtown Cave Creek. Friday and Saturday, 10 to 5, Sunday, 10 to 4. Free admission and parking.
You're watching Now at 9.
The Black Friday madness is well underway now at 9. We're going to send it over to Robert Hernandez live in Air 15, where he is above the Paradise Valley Mall. Robert, are there any parking spots left this morning?
Well, Rebecca, there are a few parking spots, but it's pretty impressive. Between the JCPenney's here in the center top of your picture, and the Macy's, there is just hardly anything that I'm seeing. In fact, it looks like you have a better time winning the Powerball than finding a parking space. There's sometimes 2 or 3 cars kind of waiting behind for someone to come out of the mall to get their parking space.
And I know
around the mall, it is a little better. You got the parking garage just to the north that's got some parking spaces, and over on the east side and west side there's some parking spaces. So there's actually some parking around this mall.
You just may have to walk a little bit.
Yeah, you'd have to walk just a little bit, but it seems like everybody wants to park as close to the store, so if this tells where the sales are, JCPenney's and Macy's look like the place to be. But it's a beautiful day out here today with people coming out, a lot warmer than it was this morning. For now, we're going to send it down to weather. Amber, how's the weather going?
Yeah, it is warming up pretty quickly because we have all that sunshine, but we started out this morning in the 30s and 40s. The coldest air of the season settled into the valley and around the state. We had single digits up north in places like Flagstaff and the Grand Canyon. High pressure is going to be warming things up for the next couple of days. So by the time we hit the start of our weekend tomorrow, we're going to be a little bit closer to our 30-year average of 71. Today, though, 66 degrees. Tonight, down to 41. There's a look through the weekend. 70 for tomorrow. You'll notice another big cool down for Sunday. And you know what? Things getting even colder into Monday. We have another Pacific system cruising in, which means another big cool down coming our way and more chances for snow in the high country. We're going to talk about it all coming up in just about 15 minutes or so.
All right, tracking the buzz on Facebook. And, you know, we've only teased this story. We've only previewed the story about the overweight pets. And you guys are already sending your pictures in. People love to show off their pets, even if they realize that they are, in fact, overweight. Take a look at this one. This comes to us from Marcy, I believe. And she says, here's my baby August, all 28 pounds of him. He came that way when he got him at 1 year old. Diet? I think not. And there you go. We'll switch over to another one here. This is Cricket. You can see Cricket there, closing. Maybe he's in like a turkey coma, you know, from Thanksgiving. And take a look at this. This is Timbit. And Jerry says, we never thought Timbit was overweight, but everyone else does. What do you think? I don't know. I'm going to say yes, probably. If you think your pet's overweight, there's a good chance your pet probably is overweight.
Timbit is a little full-figured, not too bad.
Full-figured. I didn't know you could use that for a cat.
It's voluptuous. Hey, a lot of fat cats that are being sent our way. What about dogs? Do you have any big dogs? I've seen quite a few out and about. But if you have a good picture, send it in.
All righty.
Well, the Black Eyed Peas, they have been named halftime entertainment for the next Super Bowl.
And we want your take. Did the NFL make the right choice?
Pat'sville Live at Best Buy, where some folks are still trying to get their hands on some hot ticket items.
The president.